It's so hard being a fan of Jon Jones. It's so hard being a fan of Jon Jones. I mean, it's a cycle. A cycle that is just going to keep going on and on and on and on. And as a fan, you hope that this is the last time you're going to see the man in the news for something negative. But just somewhere deep down inside, this is not going to be the last time you see him in the news for something negative. He was doing so well, too. He really was. I mean, every single thing he said he was going to do, he was doing. He said he was going to be active. He stayed active. He said he was going to stay in the gym and keep improving on his skill. He did that. He said that he was going to stay out of trouble for a long period of time, and that is exactly what Jon Jones did. So from the outside looking in, Jon Jones is a changed man. Jon Jones has fixed whatever mental issues he had, whatever was causing him to consistently sabotage his own career. From the outside looking in, considering the past run before this last mistake, Jon Jones had fixed all the issues. But apparently he didn't, because Jon Jones did it again. So what happened this time? Well, on the 26th of March, like around 1 a.m. or so, a cop was driving around and he heard a gunshot. A gunshot, you say? He drives up to the location of where the gunshot came from, and there's a car parked right there. He pulls up to the car, and there's Jon Jones. Jon Jones is sitting in the car looking extremely drunk. The cop described his eyes as extremely bloodshot and watery. Not just that, the cop was able to smell alcohol and weed from Jon Jones. And so he's like, man, what are you doing here? Like, what's going on? What are you doing? He asked Jon Jones, did you hear the gunshot? Do you know what is that about? And Jon says, I don't know anything about the gunshot. I'm just driving. That's it. I just wanted to go for a drive. And so the cop pulls Jon out of the car, gives Jon a sobriety test, which of course he fails miserably. Jon Jones gets arrested. And then during the search, as they were towing the car, they find alcohol in the back seat. They find a loaded gun underneath Jon Jones. I believe it was the passenger seat or the front seat. And not just that, they found a shell casing, the same exact make as the gun model. They also found it underneath the passenger seat. So you're sitting there wondering, what on earth is Jon Jones doing? For them to find a shell casing in there, it's very clear he shot the gun. He fired the weapon. What are you doing? What are you doing at 1 a.m. in the morning, drunk out of your mind, high out of your mind, firing your gun? Now, the good news is that nobody was hurt. I mean, at least at the moment, we've not received any news or that anybody was hurt. It's possible that as this thing goes on, we're going to start hearing really bad news. But for now, no one was hurt. It just makes no sense. There's no logical reason for Jon Jones to be out there shooting off his weapon. So right now, Jon Jones is arrested, and it is the same exact story all over again. Every single time Jon Jones gets in trouble, without even looking at the news and reading up on what happened, I mean, trouble outside of mixed martial arts, you can always guess it is going to involve a vehicle. From when Jon Jones ran into a pole because he was drunk, to the time that Jon Jones ran into a pregnant woman, to this time, it is always involving a vehicle. Jon Jones driving a car is a recipe for utter disaster. And at this point, man, you would think that he would have realized this and oh my God, it makes no freaking sense, man. As a fan, especially because this man currently is in his prime, not just his athletic prime. This is supposed to be the time of Jon's life where he is the most intelligent that he has ever been. And when you do look at the way he approaches mixed martial arts right now, it does seem like this is the most intelligent version of Jon Jones we've ever seen. He's a lot more cautious. He takes very little risk in the octagon. He takes care of himself right now. He's putting in a lot of effort to make sure that his body is well taken care of before he actually steps into the octagon. So just from the outside looking in, it seems like the man at this point in his life is the most brilliant that he's ever been. And the fact that he went such a very long time without making a mistake it's almost like it's hard to describe. And as a fan, seeing him make the same exact mistake, it's just like, I guess this is it. This is it. This is just what comes with being a fan of Jon Jones. He is an incredible mixed martial arts fighter, quite possibly the greatest fighter to ever do it. But he's also an extremely flawed human being that at this point, it just doesn't seem like there's any remedy to. It seems like at this point, the worst thing that can happen to Jon Jones is normalcy. The worst thing that can happen to Jon Jones is peace and quiet. We are under a quarantine right now. In a lot of places, there's a stay-at-home order. You're not allowed to leave the home beyond a certain point of time. A lot of places, there's a curfew. In my state, there's going to be a legit stay-at-home order that's going to be starting on Monday from 5 p.m. You're not allowed to be out unless you're an essential worker. To a lot of people, that's peace. I understand that it also comes with the fact that, there is a pandemic going on. A vast majority of people are dying. A vast majority of people are getting sick. That's a huge problem. But the fact that the way that we can stop this thing from spreading is just to sit at home. Sit at home and do nothing. It would seem like that is the easiest thing for the world to do. You take a look at the United States of America, for example, and how fat this country is. I know that's going to upset a lot of people hearing that, but that is the truth. You look at how fat this country is compared to other countries, how lazy this country, a lot of people in this country are compared to other countries. You would think that the easiest thing to do would be lazy, stay at home, do nothing. But for humans in general, it just seems like whenever there is peace and quiet, when there is no chaos, when there is no conflict, when there is no stress, we find a way to manufacture stress. We find a way to cause heartache for ourselves. There is no reason why Jon Jones could not just sit his ass in his little mansion and just relax. You're a rich guy. I'm pretty sure you can find so many different ways to entertain yourself in your house, but he just couldn't do it. Especially so cringy because he was on the internet the whole entire time talking about, posting inspirational quotes, talking about how, this is the one time that, staying at home and doing nothing is going to save the human race. Let's not mess it up. And Jon Jones gets arrested during a quarantine. I have no idea how else to react to it, except it is expected. That is what comes with being a fan. Now, I know the obvious question after what just happened is, so, does that mean you're done with Jon? Does that mean that you're finally done with Jon Jones? You're no longer going to be a fan of Jon Jones? No, that's not what it means. I told you guys before, and I'll say it one more time. When I'm a fan of somebody, man, I'm a fan of them until the wheels fall off. And that is the case with Jon. I never looked up to Jon Jones. And I think that is the difference between me and a lot of people who get so devastated by the mistakes that Jon makes that they're so heartbroken. They pull away. They can't find anything about him they can like anymore because they looked up to Jon. Because to them, Jon Jones is a role model. I don't idolize celebrities. I don't look at any celebrity as a role model. None, not a single one. My role model are people that I can interact with. People that I know personally, like my father, for example, my mom, uncles, teachers, my mentors, people that I have interacted with in real life. These are role models. Jon Jones is a cage fighter. He's a cage fighter. And when you take a look at Jon, it seems like that is mostly what he is. For a lot of people, cage fighting is what they do. It's not who they are. But for Jon, it just seems like that's who he is. If he's not cage fighting, if he's not fighting, if he's not in the gym training, he's making mistakes. He's breaking the law. He's getting arrested. He's getting in trouble. It's either Jon Jones is in the octagon consistently fighting, kicking ass, or Jon Jones is locked up in jail. Those are the two dynamics of Jon Jones, and it's so upsetting. It makes no sense. It truly does. But there you have it. Jon Bones Jones in trouble again. And this is probably not going to be the last time. This is probably not going to be the last time that we see Jon Jones in trouble. Now, I kind of wanted to wait a little bit to see if more information is going to come out from this before I actually made like a reaction video to it. But so far, we've not heard anything else. So I'm hoping that we don't hear any more bad news. My hope right now is that nobody got hurt. My hope is that he was just being an idiot. He just decided to shoot off his gun for no reason, just because he was drunk and high, and he just made a dumb mistake. I'm hoping that's the extent of it. The worst case scenario is that Jon Jones was involved in a crime. That would be the worst case scenario. But so far, it's not looking to be the case, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that's not what it is. In the next few days, I'm pretty sure we're going to hear more. We're going to see what the fate of Jon Jones is going to be. And then also in the meantime, you guys can see Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes talking about fighting for the championship. I think that's a little premature. It's very possible Jon is going to get stripped, but at the moment, we just don't know. And we're just going to keep watching out and see what happens. But man, disappointing. Disappointing as hell. Truly, truly disappointing. Not what I was hoping to hear. It just breaks my heart because, man, how many times I defend him, and I'm probably not going to stop. I'm most likely not going to stop because I just love the guy. I love his fighting style. Anyways, I'm going to end it right here. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the whole situation. Are you surprised? Are you sad about it? Do you think it's hilarious? Let me know, and we'll go from there. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you guys are keeping yourselves safe out there. Stay home and stay safe. Talk to you guys later.